Welcome back, Team Amore. We are back with the reaction of a requested video and YouTuber.
This reaction is going to be Danny Gonzalez, right?
Yeah, so this is a new YouTuber. We haven't even watched any of his videos yet. I don't think so we both haven't watched any of the videos yet. But someone did post in the comments. So I'm excited to watch him. He's a new YouTuber. I'm always looking to watch a YouTuber, so plug him down below so we can react to him.
Before we get to that video, if you haven't subscribed before, subscribe to our channel so you get our latest reaction and challenge videos.
So this one's not really a challenge, but it's a vlog we did. But we ate gold ice cream in Okinawa, Japan, and we held owls. And it's really funny because he basically got attacked.
Wait, don't tell him that too much.
Well, go look at that video to see. It'll be right here.
It'll be linked right here and then down in the description. Alright, let's get to that video.
What's up, Greg? I hope you're all having a great 2019. Welcome back to another episode of... What the fuck? Where did all these nutcrackers...
What?
For real though.
That's a lot of freaking nutcrackers. Oh shit, I'm scared. What?
Wanna make a video? What's up, Greg? I hope you're all having a great 2019. I know I am. How about you?
No.
Okay.
So I think it's safe to say that everyone knows by now we are both celibate.
Yes, both big virgins.
Big virgins, very celibate. Despite both being married.
Yeah, despite both having wives, we're virgins for lives.
Oh.
Virgins for lives, despite their wives.
Despite the fact that everybody on the internet knowing that we're both virgins, that doesn't stop people from imagining a world in which we're not.
We're not virgins.
I've been sent this fanfic a few times, and I think Drew has as well.
Yeah, a couple times.
It's called House of Gold, and it appears to be a fan fiction about Drew and I.
Which is crazy. I would never do the things that are written in this.
No, absolutely not. Drew disgusts me. He's an awful looking guy, and he's even worse on the inside.
I look
That's messed up.
Yeah, he's all bloody,
It's like
slimy.
muscle mass. It's very gross to look at.
Is there though?
What'd you say?
Okay, so there's this fan fiction called House of Gold. It actually has 2.5 thousand reads, which is pretty surprising. A fan fiction about us has a couple thousand views.
Apparently this is about Danny moving in with his best friend and secret crush, Drew Gooden, that's me, after his GF died in Afghanistan, going to war, and then one night Drew gets drunk, and then... Fine.
Dang.
Also, when it says after his GF died, I'm not sure if that means mine or yours. Also, we're both married.
And there are 9 parts to this. I'm curious to see how much of this is taken from reality, like, because right off the bat it's wrong that we have girlfriends. And even more wrong that one of our significant others was in war in Afghanistan. Danny looked at the apartment where his best friend and crush of 3 years waited. He saw him in the window and waved at him as his heart started beating so fast.
No, too fast.
What?
Beating too fast.
Oh, why did I read that as so fast?
Because they spelled it wrong. Also, I like beating too fast. Like, it's like a medical emergency.
Oh, it's true. Hey. Oh. The story just ends right there.
Yeah.
He collapses to the ground and dies.
Oh,
hey,
dang.
silly, get in!
He said, and Hen gulped and pulled his luggage into the house.
Is Hen another character?
Yeah, there's like a hen in the corner, just one quick shot.
So Hen gulped and pulled your luggage into my house. Oh, Hen is like the butler of the house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so-
this is based on reality.
Oh, I forgot you have a hen butler.
Yeah. Drew hugged him. Should we reenact this as we go?
Yeah, so Drew hugged him.
While you just like stand there trying to figure out why your heart's beating so fast. I've been so lonely since Amanda went missing in Afghanistan.
She went missing? That's how she died.
I guess she went missing and we assumed she died. What did she go rogue? I just like to imagine that Amanda, who would never go to war in the first place, but then while there she like has her own side mission she feels she needs to accomplish while she's there.
That's so brace of her. She loved you.
Drew stared at him for a minute. All right.
No, I'm still having a heart attack.
Hasn't been a minute yet.
Let's get you settled in. And then he helped him into his room. It's a 1-bedroom place, so you'll have to share a room with me. He smiled at him.
It'll be like a sleepover.
Totally.
Then there was a knock at the door, and Danny followed Drew to the door. where they found a girl with long brown hair and big purple eyes.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
her eyes were waving?
They're purple.
Yeah.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Hi? Said Drew.
Hi, she said, flipping her hair back, revealing her badass studded belt. Wait,
What?
Her hair was in the way.
What?
I'm picturing when she flips it back like this. If it's covering your
It's
belt,
so
she...
long. Her badass studded belt around her black jeans and black top that had sleeves to her middle arm.
Wait, what?
To her middle arm, her third of 3 arms. So basically, purple eyes, everything else is black. She's kind of goth.
I'm your neighbor Jackie, she said happily.
I feel, okay, there's no consistency with her character already. Like, she's dressed to the brim of being very goth, and she's just like, I'm your neighbor!
Wait, and I already live here. It's not saying I'm moving. You're coming to live with me. And she's
What?
going to introduce herself.
And then we both shake her hand at
They
the
both.
same time.
So she's sitting there like this.
And then the interaction ends. If you need anything, come on over, she said, and then left. She was nice.
Wait, so this interaction is...
Hi, I'm your neighbor Jackie. Anything, let me know.
She was nice.
And pretty cute.
And Danny felt a pain in his heart.
As his heart attack.
For real.
Was Drew totally straight? He always wondered if he was bi because of how he flirted with him sometimes on Skype. We've interacted, we've hung out, but we never flirt in real life in this universe. There's never like sexual tension when we hug or whatever.
It's
only through Skype.
He didn't know if he would tell him he's gay and is in love with him. Then Drew gave him a sweet smile and he felt warm again. So this is the second part now. We're on to the second part. This part's called Heavy.
All right, Drew made a drink for him, and Danny sat at the couch. Not on it, at the couch.
I'm sitting cross-legged on the floor in front of the couch.
Take that, couch. They turned on a movie and watched some funny TV shows. We turned on a movie, ignore it, then watched some funny TV shows, and drank all nights until it was 7 a.m. in the morning. Drew pointed at the rising sun. Hey, Dan, look! Dan stumbled over and then tripped and fell right into my arm. Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
Suddenly they were starting in each other's eyes.
Starting.
Their faces started inching closer and closer when suddenly there was a knock at the door.
Oh!
Drew blushed and let go of the embrace and went to the door. Hello?
He asked as he opened the door. Then there were 2 guys in black ski
What?
masks and they grabbed Drew and threw him down the apartment stairs and they ran off. They kidnapped him!
Fuck!
Danny tried to run after the van but couldn't run as fast as the car, obviously.
It's a car.
Yeah, although that would be a cool, different part of this story if
Yeah.
I was like an Olympic sprinter. And I caught up to the car, just grabbed onto the back bumper and stopped it. He called the cops and cried in the apartment. Then suddenly he got a message on YouTube that said, if you want to see him alive again, make a video about 10 reasons why the Paul brothers are awesome and you're wrong. He gasped.
Wait, prediction. Is this person more of a fan of the Paul brothers and this is a fan fiction wherein we just admit that the Paul brothers are better than us?
This isn't a fan fiction where we fall in love. It's a fan fiction where like you get kidnapped and murdered and I have to make a video apologize
Or
for the
you'll
Paul
get
bro-
murdered too.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the next part. It just skips ahead in time. There was a knock at the door. Danny went over to it and gasped. Logan Paul!
Meanwhile, somewhere in
Aw.
Coastal Rica,
Coast.
Drew had a bag on his head and he was punched hard.
Let me go! I never got to tell Danny I love him! Well, in that case...
Then he was shoved into a van and they started driving.
What?
Are they gonna take me back so I can tell you I love you?
They kidnapped you and took you to a different country. Punched you once, and you said, but wait, I want to go back and tell him I love him. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Danny made tea for Logan, and him and Logan looked at him sweetly.
Looked at who?
Yeah.
Me and Logan both looked at me.
Okay. I'm so sorry. The Team 10 will help you find him.
I almost kissed him before he...
It's okay. They looked sweet at each other.
You look sweet.
You look sweet. I'm always here for you. Logan leaned in and kissed
What?
Danny lightly on the lips, and in a moment of desire and desperate, he pulled Logan close and kissed him harder. They started making out, and Logan got on Danny and started rubbing on him. They made out and wiggled around the couch until Danny broke away.
They made out and wiggled around the couch. I picture this as 2 separate activities. Like, they made out,
Yeah.
and then they got on the couch and just wiggled around. Look! I can't. Drew.
Oh, but he was a loser.
It's a question.
But he was a loser? Go, Logan, go away.
Go, Logan, go away. Go, Logan, go away.
And he grunted and left mad. Danny went to his room to cry.
All right, part 4.
Oh
The
my
door
God.
slowly opened, and Drew limped into the apartment and fell on the floor. Danny, he said hoarsely. That's not horse like, ugh, that's horse
Yeah.
like horse. So I said as a horse would say it, Danny! Horse! And then you ran to pick him up and help him stand. Drew grabbed him and hugged him tight, and sudden, his lips started touching his and they kissed. And they made out right there.
Right there? Right there!
Right
in
there.
the apartment. Go!
When they stopped, they smiled at each other.
Be my boyfriend?
Yes.
What is that interaction? That's like, none of the dialogue in this is like natural. Be my boyfriend?
Yes.
But I have to tell you, Drew, before you came back, Logan was here. And we made out.
Logan Pale? He roared.
You have to roar it.
Logan Pale?
Logan Pale! I'm sorry. Drew started crying and ran down the stairs. Then Jackie looked Drew's way that he was running and then came in. Danny was crying and told her what was going on. So Jackie was just like standing outside.
Just waiting. After the last interaction ended, she went outside and waited.
Yeah, she's like, let me know if you need anything.
And she's just outside the door. You should do something romantic to show your story and that he is your one and only.
You're right.
He wiped the tears off, and Jackie grabbed a camera and started recording.
Oh, okay.
And he looked solely into the camera with love in his eyes.
Hi, Gregs. Today I finally told Drew I love him like I said I would. Did I tell my YouTube audience that I was going to tell Drew I love him?
I guess so.
Hey, I know there's like 1.8 million of you, but please nobody tell Drew.
Weird flex, but okay.
I'm gonna tell Drew I love him in my next video. Please no one spoil the surprise.
What did you say?
But before that, someone else came over and I kissed them. I love you, Drew, and it will never happen again. You are my light and joy, and I would be proud to be your husband.
Then Jackie whipped a tear from her face and sniffled and turned off the camera.
This part's called The Story So Far.
Is this just like a recap of everything we read?
Warning, suicide and sex scene.
They gave it away!
What the fuck is gonna happen?
God.
Suicide and sex scene? Meanwhile, in Chicago, was at a sushi restaurant.
When someone sat beside him. Drew Gooden? He said. He looked up. Jake Paul? He almost flinched. How do you almost flinch?
You only thought about it. I thought about it. So
Okay,
there's nothing
there it is.
physical. It's just
Exactly. Meanwhile, in my head, don't flinch, don't flinch!
like, yeah, I heard you and Danny had a rough thing happen. Then he posted this. And he pulled out his phone and went to a video and opened it to let him watch. Danny was looking at the camera intense and started talking. Today, I finally told Drew it will never happen again. Never kiss him again. I am with someone else. And then there was a sniffled sound. And someone was behind the camera? Danny started to cry silently, but tried to look together. I think someone
edited it.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of order.
To make it look like I'm saying something totally natural. Today, I finally told Drew it will never happen again. Never kiss him again. I am with someone else.
And I'm just like, this is so natural. This is how he talks in real life.
He uploaded a 3-second long YouTube video.
As he does.
Let me buy you a drink. And Jake ordered sake. In Asian.
No?
They started drinking and talking and laughing and having a good time.
Maybe I was wrong about him, Jake.
Jake put his arm around him, confrontingly. Of course, baby.
They both drunkenly left the bar and stumbled to the hotel room Jake was staying in. Jake started kissing him and pushing him to the bed, and they made out there. Then they started doing it. But Drew didn't know about the camera. It was being live.
Oh my God.
Jake,
Jake's
that's
a
illegal.
freak. Damn. I like how whoever wrote this has such a way with words. Like, they
Yeah.
really know how to write romance. They stumbled back to the hotel and started doing it.
Love you, Jake, cried Drew on the stream. Danny and Jackie watched, shocked and dumbfounded as they watched. Jackie looked at Danny, then black at the video. First, I look at you, then I look black at the video.
How could he? Denny stroamed around the house.
Jackie tried to call him down. Denny! But Danny opened the window and jumped!
Dang!
Jackie screamed and called
What?
011. Did they write this in like 30 seconds?
What?
It's a bit.
No time to proofread, no time to
011.
edit. Wait, do you know what 011 is?
No.
Alright, I'm calling 011.
Please.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Hello, my friend has just jumped off the balcony. Well, it looks like it's the next part now.
Drew woke up with a hangover and threw up.
Oh.
Then he heard his phone ring, and he picked it up. It was Jackie yelling "I" to the phone.
What?
I, calling him shit for what he did to Danny.
What?
said Drew. He said he found someone else?
What? No, he didn't. I'm sending you the video he made. Then she hung up and got the notification for it. He opened it, and his lover spoke words of love right from the heart. He spun around and glared at Jake.
You liar! He screamed. Then he threw his phone at Jake and ran out
Oh my God.
while in the suicide hospital.
What?
Danny was sitting in a chair watching a TV show when a nurse said, "You have a guest." He expected Jackie again with some McDonald's or something, but instead, Drew.
He flinched. Okay, so
At least I flinched this time instead of gasping again.
or thinking about flinching like I did.
What do you want, traitor? He hissed at him.
He lied to me. He made me think you moved on. And I slept with him.
Are we even? Can we be together?
If you can forgive me.
I do. Forgive me?
Yes.
Then they embraced and kissed.
Danny pulled away and knelt down and pulled a box out. Thanks.
I was going to do this somewhere better, but will you marry me?
Drew cried happy tears and nodded.
And they made me
out again. Let's get you out of here, said Drew.
Oh, my bones are still
I'm
broken.
gonna rescue you from the hospital.
You like grabbed me and hold my bones like. Danny got out of bed where his fiance was sleeping, and he went to the bathroom. Then he spotted something in the sink that he guessed Drew forgot. He picked it out of the sink and looked. It had 2 lines and was a pregnancy test. He busted out of the bathroom. Drew, he said, and Drew sleepily got up and then gawked at what was in his hand.
Wait.
Gawked, dude. What is this? Are you?
Wait, what the fuck is happening? He looked down ashamed. I'm going to the doctor tomorrow to check. Please, go with me. What is this, like the next day? We had sex for the first time last night. Now I'm pregnant. I woke up in the middle of the night to take a pregnancy test like an hour after
Let me just make sure.
You already have the
I
pregnancy.
already have the results, and I've already scheduled a doctor's appointment. I'm ashamed, but didn't bother to hide the pregnancy test. I put it in the sink. Not even the garbage can, in the... Oh, no! I found it out. They waited in the office of the doctor office.
The doctor's so important that his office has his
As
own
another
office.
office. They went in, and the doctor came into the checkup room they were in. Are you his husband? Said the doctor. Danny nodded. Well, Mr. Gooden, you are pregnant. And Mr. Gonzalez isn't the father.
What? How
Drop
can they
the-
tell?
Okay.
It's been 2 days. Most a pregnancy test can't even tell for like 2 weeks, right? And then you can't even do a paternity test until the kid is born. They both drop
their jaws. I love that it says to be continue in the middle of the story. Imagine if you were reading a book and every chapter ended to be continued.
Every
like,
page ended.
Yeah.
Oh
to
my
continue.
God.
White Wedding Part 1.
It was a hot July day, and the concert hall was decked in white everywhere. Drew and Danny invited their fans for free to see their wedding.
Normally you charge money to do it.
You know.
$10 a pop, come on.
But since you're our fans, we'll let you come for free.
But so many wanted to come that they had to get a concert hall. There was a preacher and a pretty white arch and music playing and food outside.
In the room with Drew, he was putting on his white suit and brushing his hair. He got a knock at the door and someone popped in. It was Ethan and Ela Klein.
The door didn't open. Popping is like them teleporting into the room.
H3! He said, and they went over to hug him.
I'm so excited for you, said
Said
Hula.
Hula. Thanks. Ethan, will you walk me down the aisle?
Of course, buddy. And he out his arm,
And then he looked at.
and they walked slowly out.
They stood at the start of the red carpet that went to the arch, and Drew laughed, nervous. And Ethan had his
No.
arm. Did a baby write this story? Not only did they not know like what words are or when to use what words, but I feel like they've never seen humans interact. And they started walking as the wedding song started playing. The fans went crazy and clapped, and they stopped at the preacher and stood by him and waited.
They looked at the entrance and waited for Danny. First, Jackie came out to be the bridesmaid, and Jenna Marbles did too.
Oh, Jenna's here.
Oh, that's so nice of Jenna to
Thanks
come.
for coming.
Yeah.
Then PewDiePie came
Oh.
out with Danny on his arm. They both smiled and Danny blushed.
Wearing his baby blue tux.
Drew started crying because he loved him so much.
Thank you for explaining.
Yeah, thanks for finally explaining why I would be crying at my own wedding. Danny stood across him, and they looked at each other with misty eyes. The press smiled
press.
at them both and started talking.
Drew Gooden, do you take Danny Gonzalez to be your husband, to hold and love forever as long as you both live? Drew nodded.
Yes, I do.
And Danny Gonzalez, do you take Drew Gooden to be your husband, to love and cherish as long as you live?
Why did you get a different question?
Gonna
I
love
have to hold you forever.
And I have to cherish you forever. I do, said Danny.
If anyone thinks these two should not be married, speak now.
And the room got quiet.
And nobody breathed. Then someone stood up from the crowd and jumped on stage. It was Logan!
Logan Paul?
Danny said. Yes! I don't think they should get married. He's carrying my baby! He shouted in the whole room.
Oh wait, yeah,
Hold on.
yeah.
I thought I was pregnant. I'm pregnant with Jake's baby. Are you also pregnant with Logan's baby? Did I also have sex with Logan?
I guess he must be talking to me, but I don't know why he would know that I'm pregnant. Drew started crying and wished he was somewhere else.
I was somewhere else!
Then Ethan started going into Logan and pushed him away from the
He takes control of his body and starts pushing himself away.
Logan's like, get out of me! What's going on?
Ethan, I didn't know you could do that! Then suddenly fights start breaking out with all the fans, and Drew and Danny ran away, and the others escorted them. They all got to the limo and drove off fast. To be continued.
Danny, Drew, come out here!
Ethan and Hila and Jenna and Jackie and PewDiePie were outside the cabin they were staying in until everything blew over. Danny looked out the window and gasped.
Of course.
Of course, you're gasping.
I'm useless.
Like
That's
hyperventilating.
my response anytime anything surprising happens.
Just crippling shock. Outside was a big Talizzy, a big Tesla? A Telus with roses and lots of food on a table, and music started playing. There was balloons, and everyone was dressed up. Who's saying no way? Or is the author saying no way?
The author is so surprised by what he's about to write. Everyone was wearing dressed up and no way! They went outside! She's like amazed at her own ideas.
Yeah. What is this? They both asked, blushing. They felt bad about what happened, so we made you a nice private wedding with just us, said Jackie with a big smile.
They all hugged and Ethan said, I can marry you. I do Jewish weddings, but it can still count for you.
Then Danny put out his hand and Drew took it. Thanks. Shall we? Shall we? He nodded and took his hand. Again. Other hand. He led him to the roses, and Ethan stood in between them. So imagine Ethan Klein right there.
Right here.
Now, Drew Gooden, do you take Danny Gonzalez to be your husband? Will you love and cherish him in sickness and health? I do, he said softly.
And Danny Gonzalez, do you take Drew Gooden to be your lovely husband through poor and riches for as long as you both live?
Yes, I do, said Drew back.
What?
Wait, what? So I said it both times. Yeah, he said, I said I do twice. You said I do for mine. Now, Drew, do you take Danny to be your husband?
I do.
And Danny, do you take Drew?
I do.
Drew, yes, babe. I want you to know I want to adopt the baby. Drew had happy tears in his eyes, and Ethan said, I now pronounce you man and husband. And
Pronouns.
They fell into
They
it.
our faces like smack like that, and we're both like leaning against each other. Like,
And that's the end.
So I don't know. What did you think of the story?
Bad.
I kind of liked it. I thought it was kind of sweet.
You like the story about us falling in love, cheating on each other, getting pregnant, and then marrying each other?
In a way, I feel like it kind of just.
I don't think so.
All right, guy. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you check out Drew's channel. It'll be linked in the description.
Get better.
Also, there is a link in the description for a survey that we want you all to fill out. It's titled Danny and Drew 2019 Tour Survey. There's no particular reason that it's called that. It's just sort of a random name, and please don't ask why we need you to fill out the survey.
Yeah, the words don't really mean anything, but if you guys could fill that out for us, but only do it once, and if that's something you wanted to see in a universe where we do hypothetically go on tour or whatever sometime this summer, then fill it out and let us know where you want us to go, and then we'll go there.
We will. We promise. Every
Well, we
single
can't-
place
We can't promise.
that you put in the survey.
That's definitely not true.
We will go. We are
I don't-
actually
I don't
legally
wanna be held
obligated
to that.
by the terms
That's-
of the survey
Please
to
don't
go
say that. Don't
every
do that.
single
People
place.
are going to get their hopes up when they tell us to go to the moon.
All right,
It goes
well,
to-
hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to join Greg. We're the fastest growing army on the internet.
Don't look that up.
Please, for the love of God, don't look that up. It could end my career.
And it will end.
Thank you to Anna for turning on my notifications. You are truly Greg. I'll see you guys next time where Drew kicks me in the knees so hard that he breaks. Bye.
They're really funny. No,
that whole story was pretty funny, man. I don't know whoever did that.
Just there are a few things online that can help you with your grammar. It's kind of cute but funny, but the way they who came up with these fiction stories of them though? First of all,
why freaking 2.6 people read it and didn't roast that? Like and comment down below. What'd you think about this video? What'd you think about if somebody wrote a story about you like that?
And hit that subscribe button to Danny Gonzalez and Drew Golden, which will be right up here as well.
And hit that subscribe button down below.
And be back with more videos.